Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. Truth. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. I am no ways tired. I said I am no ways tired, y'all. How y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black at Night show. Welcome to what we like to call around here Freedom Friday. It's been imitated but never duplicated. Give it up for the Wolf Pack up in this mofo. What up, people? How y'all doing? Look, I want to first thank everybody who hung around because I know this show tonight is very late. But I also want you to know, better late than never. I got some things lined up for us tonight. We're going to do some real honest talk. We're going to hurt some feelings tonight. We're going to ruffle some feathers. We're going to piss some people off. We're going to screw some heads up. We're going to unscrew them. Then we're going to put them back on the right way because this is where truth gets down. The Tim Black Wolfpack is in the house on Freedom Friday. So let me give a shout out to all my Wolfpack members, most noticeably my new members to the YouTube Tim Black Wolfpack membership program. My folks, truth can't be silenced. How you doing, brother? My man. Also would like to give a big shout out to people who became Patreons over the last few days, over the last week since our last Freedom Friday show. Shout out to also Tony T. Tony T, for you becoming a big time pleasure of the Tim Black Wolfpack, man. Give it up for Tony T. You always got to do a little bit of your house cleaning. Said you always got to clean house just a little bit. The other thing we want to announce is that we've gone to up due to popular demand. By popular demand, we have added a new feature to our Freedom Friday show. You will now have the option of calling anytime during the week and leaving a message. That's right, you can call up and leave a voicemail message of a question or a comment to the Tim Black Show. All you got to do is call the number anytime this week, and that will be something that will be played on Freedom Friday, because we know that some people do not like calling up live. It's kind of nerve-wracking. Also, they may not have the ability to call up live for whatever reason. Maybe they got a house full of people. Maybe they won't have access to their phone. Who knows? But all I'm saying is we now have another option, a way that people can use to have their voices heard, because Freedom Friday is about voices. It's not about less voices, it's about more voices. So we still have phone lines in a normal place for our normal folks. Bam. There we go. 319-527-6212 is the phone number for anybody who'd like to call up and be a part of tonight's conversation. But I will get the ball rolling as I usually do. I am the master of ceremonies, the MC, the brother who puts it down, who rips the mic and leaves it smoking when he's done, like my brother Rakim would say. So I'd like to start off tonight by laughing my ass off at Michael Cohen. I was just about like I was getting everything lined up for tonight, and I noticed an article popped up. Maybe it was on my Twitter. You know, Twitter keeps you up to date on everything, right? So, you know, we all know Michael Cohen is in hot water, right? You all know this. And basically, brother going to do time. I don't see them not giving him some type of time. He's already, his fate is somewhat sealed, I would say. It doesn't look like Trump going to save him. Well, Michael Cohen is still snitching. He's talking about Donald Trump, and what he's talking about now, at least what's making news right now, and as you all know, anybody who doesn't know, Michael Cohen is the former lawyer for Donald Trump. And he says that he has information about Donald Trump, experiences and times that he spent with Donald Trump, where Donald Trump, that is, used very racist language. All right, so that's the new allegation made by Michael Cohen. Says that Trump has used racist rhetoric in his presence, even. So, like, questions of confidentiality. I mean, you were his lawyer, and now you're saying he said things around you. Now, if what he says you have to keep in strictest confidence, wouldn't the way he said it be the same thing as, be kept in strictest confidence? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, Wouldn't that be how it works? Don't get me wrong. I want to know what he said. Come on, don't you want to know what he said? Don't you want to know what Michael Cohen said he said? Of course you do. You want to know what he said. Because you're not a Trump cultist, are you? Where you go, oh, no, I don't want to hear it because it's bad about Trump. You're not one of those people. I wasn't one of those people about Obama. Why you get to be that way about Trump and it's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay to be that way about anyone, right? You want to hear the story, if there's a story to hear, about a president. This isn't gossip from, first the wives of, Madison County or the wives of Atlantic City or whatever the hell. Hip-hop wives or Sex in the City. No, this is about the president of the United States. So, of course, I want to hear Michael Cohen. I'm just questioning, I'm just being a pain in the ass and I'm saying, like, don't you owe the guy some confidentiality? Just saying. So, anyway, let's get to what he said, all right? Unfortunately, I got this article from a website that, goodness gracious, man. Could you give me the facts? Give me the facts. Just give me the facts. I'm just not reading all of this stuff because they're talking about everything except Michael Cohen and what he said. God dang. Lord have mercy. This is almost unusable. Okay, so I actually should have printed the Vanity Fair article because I think Vanity Fair is where Michael Cohen gave the interview. I don't know why I didn't print that article. This one, it's like the site is reprinting Michael Cohen's interview from Vanity Fair, and they want to put their, they will put their little seasoning on it. They want to dress it up. Like, look at me, look at me, look at me, All right, so anyway. So Cohen is dropping dimes on Donald Trump, and Cohen told Vanity Fair that he has spent the last few months quietly reflecting on his former boss and his own role in the Trump organization. The attorney has switched his political affiliation to Democrat. As if that means something. You went from Republican to Republican light. Republican to Republican light is not a switch. I don't drink them type of Coke. I don't drink Coke no more. I drink Diet Coke. Yeah, I want a more healthy lifestyle. It's still gonna kill you. That shit is not good for you. You understand? It's not good for you. I'm sorry. It's just true. Cohen told the magazine that he was moved to disclose some egregiously racist things Trump said during a conversation between the two of them at a Trump Tower while Trump was still a candidate for the presidency in 2016. Okay. After a campaign rally with Trump attended and Cohen watched on television, the attorney pointed out to his boss that the attendees at the rally were mostly white. Now, this is Michael Cohen's words as quoted from this article, which is taken from Vanity Fair. Quote, I told Trump that the rally looked vanilla on television. Trump responded, that's because black people are too stupid to vote for me. It's just too stupid, man. Except for that Kanye. That guy's smart. He gets it. Look, I added in the Kanye reference. He didn't say anything about Kanye. In another conversation that happened after Nelson Mandela's death, oh shit. Cohen said, Trump told me, name one country run by a black person that's not a shithole. And then added, name one city. Woo! Cohen also said that in the late 2000s, Cohen went on, he didn't elaborate and name cities though. Cohen also said that in the late 2000s, when the two of them were traveling to Chicago for a Trump International Hotel board meeting, the limo took them through one of the rougher neighborhoods in Chicago. On the way from the airport, Trump told Cohen that only blacks could live like this. Damn, man. It's almost as if, if I wasn't, a man of God, it's almost, if I hadn't drank a gallon of whiskey just before the show, I would think that this article's trying to paint Donald Trump as a complete racist. And they're doing so right on the heels of the whole Blaxit thing. Or Blexit. Blaxit? I don't know, man. Just an observation. You guys observe such? Something smell a little fishy to you? Any of you guys in there frying fish? I smell fish. Something fishy. All right. So anyway, President Trump's former personal lawyer and longtime friend, or fixer, Michael Cohen pleaded guilty, as we know. And then there was a conversation that Cohen and Trump had about the first season of The Apprentice, when the competition came down to a head-to-head battle between Kwame Jackson, a black investment manager who had graduated from Harvard Business School, and Bill Rancic, who would eventually go on to win the season. I think I know where this is going. Trump was explaining his back and forth about not picking Jackson. He said, there's no way I can let this black fucking win. That's what Cohen said he said. Oh, it's going to be dicey tonight. You're going to have to put on your big people panties tonight, because we ain't going to be holding no punches. We're not holding punches, guys. Check this out. When asked about this, Kwame Jackson, told Vanity Fair that he had Trump made that comment about him. That he had heard that Trump made that comment about him. My response to President Trump is simple and Wakandan. Jackson said, not today, colonizer. Wakanda. The Wakanda thing, Look, bruh. Do y'all want to read more of this, or you want me to read more of this to you? If you're going to leave this show while I'm doing this, then I don't got a reason to do this. I'm sharing this article with you because I'm hoping that we'll glean something from it. I haven't read it before the show, so we're learning this together. We're experiencing this together as a team. I keep going a couple more minutes on it, then we'll just wrap it up with a commentary. How about that? Despite having all those bigoted and racist things said to him in private by Trump, Cohen continued to work for him and cover up his alleged crimes and transgressions. Hindsight is 20/20, however, and now Cohen wishes he had left the president's employ when he had the chance all those years ago. I should have been a bigger person, and I should have left. Yeah, Cohen, you should have left. And Omarosa should have quit. Everybody else should have quit. Everybody who's left and written a book should have quit. All of y'all should have quit. Damn right. I never bought into this notion that, I'm trying to save the I'm going to save the world because I'm going to take this paycheck and I'm going to stay in this powerful position because I'm saving the world. I'm saving the country. I gotta save it. I got to put my thumb in the damn hole, the hole in the dam. I got to plug up the hole. Oh, shit. There goes another hole. I'm in here saving the world when all they're doing is saving themselves. See, people like Roland Martin would defend Omarosa. Let Omarosa come back to do a little rehab on her whole like persona to the black community. You know, oh, well, she was doing it to help the black community. You know, just lames. These people are lames, okay? Roland Martin is disingenuous. Omarosa did not stay in the Trump administration, though she said it was so bad, people were so horrible, and Trump is a racist. She did not stay there because she was trying to help Tim Black. No. She stayed there because you're trying to help Omarosa, right? That's what you do. You stay to help yourself. The hell happened? It's funny, man. It's funny. So Michael Cohen, look. Michael Cohen, he a day late, $1 short. This is not going to save you, Michael Cohen, from the pearls of being found guilty, of pleading guilty. You're going to be faced the repercussions, the consequences, and the repercussions for your actions. No, we buying the smoke job here, man. Even if it's true. See, my thing is, people that want to blow a whistle, blow the whistle when they still have a whistle. If your ass is fired, you no longer have a whistle. If you are being tried or convicted, or if you are pleading guilty to a crime, you no longer have a whistle. See, the most verified source, the most reliable testimony is testimony of a person who's already left employment of their own volition. That is the true test of a whistleblower, in my opinion. Not a person who gets fired, then they have an axe to grind. Now we don't know what to believe. Not a person who pleads guilty to crimes and then they all of a sudden have found religion. Now we need you to find religion before you die. No, we need you to call this shit out while you're still getting that paycheck. That's when it's supposed to happen. That's when it matters. These are GED level situations that we're dealing with. Shit ain't difficult. It ain't hard to find. Give it up for that. Ain't hard to find. I would want to hear what my callers got to say about this, man. I mean, to me, it's pretty basic. Pretty basic. I think maybe we'll do a video on that. I'll do a video. Maybe we can do a little skit on it. Anybody seen the skits we've been doing lately? Yeah, we're having a good time doing those skits, man. Folks, I'm gonna do more like standard type videos with a splash of flair and some entertainment value and a gut punch and some harsh hitting reality as well. Everything's not gonna be a skit, but I enjoy doing both. I think it's important to spread the word about what we do, right? So I got a wheelhouse full of tools. I'm gonna use all of them. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, since we already kind of went down this road, yeah, let's stay here for a second. I want to switch topics to this whole Candace Owens Kanye West thing. And look, I already know, guys. There's gonna be people out there saying, Tim Black, don't talk about Kanye West. Do not talk about Kanye West. I don't want to hear about Kanye West. In fact, there are people who say that no matter what I talk about. Yeah, no matter what subject I talk about, they go, this is a distraction. It's a distraction, Tim Black. Why are you talking about this thing that I don't personally give a shit about? I don't know. Because I'm not you. The right has been chewing on Kanye West for about 2 months. They have had him on shows. They have held panels about him. The left has been chewing on Kanye West for about a month. The whole world has been talking about Kanye West. This is why it's important. And now that this thing has sort of bit the Republicans in the ass, now you don't want to talk about it? See, you have to understand, I don't support either party. I support truth. I also would like the Democratic Party to reform itself. I don't think it's possible. But if black people are going to vote Democratic, they got to get something for their vote. So I'm about empowering black people to get more for their vote. Kanye West is falling right in that wheelhouse. Now, we know what they were doing with Kanye West. I try to tell people, look, they're using this guy. They're using this guy. He's not as smart as he think he is. He being used. He using Trump. Trump using him. Everybody using Kanye. Kanye, this whole thing has been a laugh, but a dangerous laugh. We had people allowing Kanye to say the most crazy shit. Kanye said some things that were so offensive. If he'd have said them about anybody else, he'd be done. He'd have no career. He'd be over with. It'd be finished, kaput. It would be no way that you could, but he didn't mean it that way. When he said slavery was a choice for black people, if he'd have said that about anyone else, if he'd have said anything even remotely, if he'd have said the Japanese wanted to be in internment camps, he'd been done. He'd been over with him. He'd be over with. If he'd have said Jews wanted to be exterminated, he'd been done. It'd been over with. They didn't leave. They wanted to be exterminated. They didn't all get away. They didn't all get out of Nazi Germany. They wanted it. Sounded to me like they wanted it. If he'd have said anything similar, there would have been no walk back word. There'd have been nothing good enough to save his career, his life, any of it. But since it was just us lowly blacks, he could say it, and we'd have dumbass blacks going around going, yeah, well, somehow it makes sense. You gotta really listen to what he says. You got to really listen. So this whole failure, this entire implosion that Kanye West has underwent, I've been sitting back watching it. As I watch these opportunists from Turning Point USA use Kanye West to go to stardom and now to go to fartdom, I'm also paying attention to it. So here's where we are now, guys. There's been this thing that everyone's been talking about. Talking about. This thing where all these blacks are running from the Democratic Party. And I want to make something clear, guys. I got no problems with black people leaving the Democratic Party. I got no problems with black people leaving the Democratic Party. I got no problems with white people leaving the Democratic Party. I have no problems with Latinos or Hispanics leaving the Democratic Party. I have no problems with Asians leaving. I have no problems with Native Americans leaving the Democratic Party. I have no problems with humpback whales, leprechauns. I have no problem with mermaids leaving the Democratic Party. Anyone can leave any party they would like to leave. It's particularly the major parties, but you're all free to leave any party, but particularly the two major parties, because the duopoly is really the distraction from real shit. Okay? That's the real distraction. The distraction that makes us have a democracy, that you get two choices, two major choices. So, but my thing is, this whole thing is a lie, in my opinion, that somehow, just because you leave the Democratic Party, joining the Republican Party is a good thing. But we'll get more into that later. Listen, now that one day Kanye woke up and said, you know what? I think I'm being used. He said, I think I'm being used. My eyes are now wide open and now realize I've been used to spread messages I don't believe in. I am distancing myself from politics and completely focusing on being creative. That's what he said. Kanye said he leaving. Now here's the thing, guys. All right. Kanye West is not selling his wares the way he was selling them before all of this meddling in the politics. Yes, he took a financial hit. Maybe he didn't plan this out so well. Maybe he thought all of those good white folks, all those conservative white folks who never really bought his records to begin with, were all of a sudden going to go out and buy shoes. Going to go out and buy overpriced T-shirts. They didn't. They did not. Now Kanye West has walked it back. Especially since Candace Owens, according to him, was using, that's who he's referring to in this tweet, was using his name. Of course she was using his name. What else did she have? Oh, you don't mean that fast-talking air that she does. Come on, man. You think that's what propelled her? It was Kanye West tweeting about her. Come on, man. Even Bishop Pearl's called it out. What did Bishop Pearl say? Now, look, you know I'm critical of Bishop Pearl, but I can't just steal his line. It's a classic line. He said, live by the Kanye, die by the Kanye. He said that back in April. But you didn't pay attention, Candace, so now you get to roast on the spick, so to speak. So Kanye West, he didn't distance himself from Donald Trump. I think he stated somewhere very clearly that he still supports Donald Trump. He just don't want to get involved in politics. He wants to focus on his music. I believe part of it is sales. I believe financial burden. Also believe it's social pressure. But I also do believe that he was being used. But I don't buy that he didn't know he was being used. And I also don't buy that he wasn't using. See, Donald Trump didn't call out Kanye West and say, hey, Kanye, I need you to do me a favor, homie. I need you to go make stupid statements based in nothing about what I'm doing for black folks. How great a guy I am, even though you don't even know me. We had no relationship, but I need you to go stump for me. See, that's not how it happened. It was the other way. Kanye West used Donald Trump. He used Donald Trump, who reversed it and used Kanye West because there was a mutual usable moment. But there was never anything for Kanye West to use or get from Candace Owens. So yes, Candace Owens was using Kanye West. And this is typically how relationships are. I mean, I understand there are people out there who may not get it totally, but listen, man, all relationships have to be evenly yoked in some way. Gotta be something in it for both parties. If there's not something in it for both parties, what's happening? What's going on? Somebody being used. Come on now, keep up. So what's up? Come on, man. I've done business with every independent media person of considerable stature in the United States of America. All right? All independent media, okay? Name them, pretty much I work with them. And all of us benefited from working together. All relationships where we were not evenly yoked, they became a problem. The person didn't really have an audience. When I backed away, there was shit to pay. They went on a rant. When you have people that do not have any skin in the game, you got to have something to offer people. You have to have even a trade situation, guys. A trade. There's got to be something for both people to get. What did Kanye get out of Candace Owens? He couldn't have got out of a Google search of bad information. What did Kanye West get out of Candace Owens? He couldn't get out of a Reddit forum or a thread in 4chan. Come on, guys. He didn't get anything out of Candace Owens. She was getting out of him. And for her to act like, oh, I didn't even know I wasn't using him. That's bullshit. Bullshit. So anyway. But what it's caused, and it's funny to me, what it's caused now is a rift between Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and these other people like Tommy Lauren. You know? All right. Listen, guys. I'm sitting back and I'm giggling over this shit because it really is funny. All right, it's funny. I would like to see these two people destroy one another. But I do feel that Candace Owens is slightly less authentic than Tommy Lauren. I do believe that. I do believe that. Just my observation from talking to Tommy Lauren. Being on his show one time and you know, it is what it is. That's what I think. So anyway, that's what it is, okay? You guys can figure it out. Hey, these are just opinions. I'm giving you the facts. I believe that Kanye West woke up and realized it's not good for the pocket. And the whole Blackxit thing, the whole black exit thing from the Democratic Party, Kanye West don't want that on his name. That doesn't help him. That's not a winner for Kanye West. It's a winner for Candace Owens and Turning Point USA. So fucking obvious. For them to try to mind screw, to try to Jedi mind trick people into thinking there was something for Kanye to get out of that, or it was his idea. No, it wasn't. None of it. Or Candace said it wasn't his idea. I never said it was his idea. Yeah, but when you name drop someone, name-dropping someone, that's what you're doing. And believe me, people be name-dropping all the time. And I'd be like, look, stop name-dropping me. Stop name-dropping. Stop doing it. Don't act like you don't know what you're doing. I know what you're doing when you name-drop. It's lousy. All right. Kanye like, look, stop name-dropping me, yo. You don't got the answers, Candace. Stop name-dropping me. Stop name-dropping me. You don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So, now before we go to phone calls, I got to hit this story, guys. I got to hit this topic, actually. And I'm going to start this topic a little different because I think a good way to approach this topic would be with this video.
Without alien foreigners!
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
Well, first, let me set up the video for you a little bit, okay? The video I'm about to show you has gone viral. It's been viral for quite some time. In fact, it's seen a resurgence back in 2017. It's about fascism. It's an anti-fascist short clip from a short film. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it for you. The original film was created back in 1943, and now it has become even more popular. I'm going to run it for you, and then we're going to talk about it.
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American. Holding jobs that belong to me, and you! I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me, and you! Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me, and you! Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong.
Give it up for that clip, guys. That's the clip there. And let me give you a little bit more background on the clip. All right, well, actually, I guess we can come out. Let's come out, all right? So this clip became very popular. It regained popularity back in August, in 2017, actually, because it was being shared and it's been on this archive website. It's from a film called Don't Be a Sucker. It's a short propaganda film which was created by the U.S. War Department back in 1943. When it first debuted, Don't Be a Sucker would have played in movie theaters. And now it has made its 21st century premiere thanks to a network of smaller screens in the Internet Archive. Don't Be a Sucker lives again as a public object in a new and strange context. So, what I find very interesting about that clip, and the reason why I want to share it with you guys, is because what it's talking about is white nationalism. And it's talking about a hatred or a self-preservation that needs to happen in order to protect a white ethno-state, which is America. That's what the movie really is about to me. Now, the original film is only 17 minutes long. This could be viewed if you go to the archive, the Internet Archive. Don't Be a Sucker encapsulates some lost golden age of American anti-racism. Indeed, the contradictions of the 40s are inseparable from the film. In this opening montage, it shows a multi-ethnic group of kids, white, black, and East Asian, playing baseball. Yet in 43, the same year it was released, the U.S. federal government kept more than 100,000 Americans imprisoned solely for the crime of being Japanese. And it was on its way to implementing one of the great anti-black wealth transfers of American history. Still, Don't Be a Sucker seems wise. It seems to know how democratic solidarity falters, how prejudice and factionalism can fracture a nation, and how all these forces might manifest in the United States of America. This wisdom may have emerged from simple practicality, though the U.S. Army and Navy remained segregated for another 5 years. There were already vast and diverse enterprises by 43. Simply put, different people had to work together to win the Second World War. The same was true of the whole country. So this propaganda film was put together to achieve the idea of us working together in order to win the war. Meanwhile, we were hypocrites like hell because what was going on in the United States was not the diverse melting pot that they described. They had Japanese internment camps. Black people still did not have most rights that whites had. And this was not 1923. This was not 1823. This was 1943. So anyway, I want to encourage everybody to go check that clip out. Now, one of the reasons why I'm talking about it, and one of the reasons why I think it matters, is because of the migrant situation that's happening right now. I think it matters because I've been hearing a lot of rhetoric about the migrants, and I think people really need to come to grips with what they're saying about the migrants. Less people are illegally entering the United States, or entering the United States without documentation, or not going through the proper procedure of seeking asylum and all those things, than ever before. At least in the last 10 years, okay? That type of migration is actually down. But you never know because of all the rhetoric that you hear about it, the focus of our media on these issues, the focus of our president on immigration. You would never know that less people are actually coming in without going through process. And as it was asked to me today, they said, Tim, why is it that these, what's up with this caravan? What does it mean? And I'm saying this, guys, and this is to everyone, man. I heard the arguments made by people like Yvette Carnell and others. And if you don't know who Yvette Carnell is, she's a black woman who has a show. It's very popular. A lot of people watch it. And it's about black politics, okay? And I want to say this, and I want this to go on the record, right? If America did not bring in any more immigrants, that would not necessarily change the situation for Americans in this country or catching hell. Particularly black folks. See, what I'm not seeing are specific policies that will help black people. Hell, I rarely even hear Democrat or Republicans even say black. Unless it's just some platitudes. Like, they won't even address the 40%, nearly 40% poverty rate. They won't even address the overmass incarceration. They won't even address the unemployment, the rates of blacks, not with these Uber jobs, not with Lyft jobs, not the Amazon jobs. I'm talking about real jobs. They don't address the racial stigmas that occur in our society and say, okay, let's deal with the wealth gap. Let's deal with the value of black life as opposed to white life. Let's deal with how we are treated in the medical when it comes to hospitals and doctors' care. Let's look at the disparities in education and how our children are treated in these schools. Let's put together plans to actually address all of these important, life-changing issues. Now, if you think that you agreeing with some people who are pissed off or Trump supporters about we need to stop a caravan of I don't know how many people it is, exactly, there's 2,300, 7,000 migrants. If you want to agree with them because you think somehow stopping 7,000 migrants who are going to come in and some of them may get asylum, some would not get asylum, who knows what's going to happen. If you think that's going to somehow trickle down or somehow, find its way to helping black people in Alabama, then you are a new kind of fool. What you are doing by saying, oh, I agree with this white nationalist bullshit, what you are doing is losing the moral high ground, and it's not going to translate into anything for you. It's not like America, the country America, I'm not talking about every American, it's not like America goes, okay, so we're going to spend all this money on Mexicans and Guatemalans. But since we're not, we're going to go spend it on the hood. That's not what's going to happen, Yvette Carnell, and you know it. That's not what's going to happen, other black YouTube person or independent media person. That's not what's going to happen. What all you're doing is, being an ass, giving people that watch you some type of idea that this is bonding together and we're standing up for each other. Losing the moral high ground is one of the ways we get things done in this country. The other way is legislation. If you lose the moral high ground, and I'm glad you don't have a big enough voice to really cause damage. Okay, you're just damaging the mentality of the people that listen to you, who actually think if they shit on others somehow by saying we need to take care of ourselves, that's going to make the government take care of us or rectify problems. I don't mean take care of us, but actually attend to our needs, which are due. It will not. In the same claims that people who watch a vet show or black folks in general will have about immigrants who come into the country, and we say, okay, what about the people that are starving? What about the black people who are catching hell? What about black people who are living beneath the poverty line? What about black people? All these things. There are other people in the country saying the same thing about other groups. I had someone comment, say, Tim, what about veterans? And what about the veterans that live on the street? Some of them gave the ultimate price. Their minds, their peace of mind. And now they don't even live indoors. Why are we taking care of immigrants when we should be taking care of our veterans? You understand? Is it because they believe, just like some other people believe, they believe that the money that would go to help the people from Guatemala or the resources that will be expended to help the Guatemalan immigrants would be, oh, but not going. I was going to help the Guatemalan immigrants. Instead, let me help the veterans. And no, that's not how things work. That's not what's going to happen. Even if they don't bring those people in, they're not going to help the veterans more than they already plan to help them. The only way you're going to get the veterans to get more help is for you to start a movement that facilitates that. You shitting on... Now, the veterans are in a better place because they're not automatically demonized. The veteran supporters can make these claims about, what about the veterans? And people won't go, well, you're being selfish. That's just mean and petty of you. No one will say that to a veteran. Okay? They won't say that. So they actually have more leeway. They do. But black folks saying, don't help these people to seek an asylum because we got black people catching hell. Well, they'll just demonize that type of rhetoric and demonize you for saying it. And nothing will have been extracted from it. Nothing will have been extracted from it. So that's what I think about the migrant thing on one point. On the side of, well, we don't need to help these migrants because if we help the immigrants or we help these people come into the country, there's less for us. As if some reason or somehow they're going to give more, do more for black people because they didn't bring these people in. That's not how it works. That's not what's going to happen. You need to know that. I think you're smart enough to know that. And stop telling people that that's going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve the problem. What will solve the problem is putting pressure on our representatives. Is actually having politicians who we hold accountable, who we vote for or don't vote for, based on the policies that they have agreed to support. And if they don't follow through and support those policies, we get the fuck rid of them. That's all you can do. That is it. That is all we can do. You cannot lose what little bit of moral authority that we have in a lose scenario. And I'm telling you it's a losing scenario. I'm not telling you that you're wrong, that these people, that black folks who are systematically oppressed, that are systematically oppressed in this country, that we don't have a specific claim. I'm not saying that we don't. We do. But what I'm telling you is, by staying on this immigration thing, this hot rhetoric about these people, and we don't need that, and we need to focus on ourselves, that does not help. It sounds good. It sounds good to black people who are pissed off, who have every right to be pissed off. I'm pissed off too. But it's unhelpful. Once again, if you say what helped him, what will help? What will help is getting involved in politics. What would help is forcing politicians to work on behalf of constituents. The only way that's going to happen is through organization, not through hot rhetoric that demonizes immigrants and then also hurts you, because now they paint you as being selfish and all the other things, unethical, all these other things. So that's my thought on that. And look, guys, it's not because I'm a saint. I felt the similar ways about immigration. I had to really take time and digest it. It took months, almost a year. And also learning just how these buttons are used. When we start falling for the banana in the tailpipe on immigration, we're buying into a conservative ideology. And I don't believe that's the way to go. That is conservative talking points. These are conservative talking points. You know, there are other conservative talking points too. Like, police do no wrong. That's a conservative talking point. All right? You want to buy into that conservative talking point too? Or we're going to pick and choose which dedicated conservative talking point, what uber conservative viewpoint we want to adopt, and others that we're going to reject. See, you are aligning yourselves with people who are diametrically opposed to most, if not all, of the social programs that you need in order to support poor people. We don't need their support. You don't need to align with them in ideology. And that's one way you know. That's how you know you're on the wrong path, is when you start agreeing with the people who don't have your best interests at heart, who demonize you on a daily basis. The most racist people in the country are the people that you are identifying with. You are becoming like them in that. You are standing next to them. That does not help you. So, and my job is to try to help. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So anyway, guys, I want to open up phone lines. I think I said enough. I'm probably in a lot of deep water with a lot of people right now. And you know what? That's cool. We're going to have to agree to disagree. I believe what I believe. I've done the research. I've been looking at this issue, and this is the way I've come up. It's not about being a saint. It's about this is not effective. And also, in your heart of hearts, you know it's not who you are anyway. It's just not who you are. It's not who you are. Don't give me that, oh, we're too nice. Yeah, to the point we are too nice. But it's not even helpful. It's not helpful. It's not going to help. It's not going to support. It's not going to help. So, guys, give me a phone call, 319-527-6212. 319-527-6212 is the number you call up to voice your opinion on any of the issues I just brought up. And if you have a new issue or a new topic or something else you'd like to, a couple minutes to express, please feel free to do that too. We're going to phone lines now. Now.
To me and you. Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
All right. All right, go, folks. I got my first phone call up. I think it's a 612 number. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment? Oh, I'm sorry, 412. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, I hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's Uli from PA.
Hey, Uli, what's up, sis?
Oh, man. I really mostly called in tonight because I missed last Friday. Man, I could not get linked into your show. I even rebooted my computer. I couldn't get a link. I mean, you didn't show up on my YouTube. You didn't show up in my notifications, nowhere. And then Saturday morning, I fire up my cell phone and there's a new email. I'll be damned. The email, I don't know when it came, but it certainly didn't come timely. So I just totally cold called the number tonight, thinking, man, if everything else lets me down, maybe I can get it through the telephone, So I've been on this telephone line now for, I don't know, since before the show started, which was hilarious, by the way, because you were mic'd up to the phone line, you know that, right? So anyways, I felt kind of bad, but I was also afraid to leave because I didn't want to miss the show again. And so I have like nothing. I have no notes, no nothing. I didn't know what you were going to talk about because towards the end of the week, I always do my marathon. I get all my work hours in, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So by Friday night, I'm completely out of the loop what people are talking about, whatever, because I work all day. So then you hit me like with something so freaking complex that I'm absolutely not prepared for, but I have a lot of opinion about.
Yeah,
try to be concise.
Well, Uli, let me ask you a question, Uli, because I know that you watch Yvette Carnell, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, now, so my thing is, and I just want your opinion now. Look, you will not hurt my feelings, but do you understand my point that I don't think us not letting immigrants come in the country will have any bearing on policies for black folks, because I don't see them creating those policies anyway. So what it does, in my opinion, Uli, is it takes away, it hurts us in the eyes of the rest of the country is what I believe it does. What is your thoughts on it? How do you see this very complex issue?
It is super complex. For one thing, the migrants, for all intent and purposes, no matter from what perspective you're looking at the migrant situation, and understand, people, that this is a global issue with refugees and migration, right? So So there are so many different ways and angles to go at this, right? So there are the people that look at this like they're coming here and they're going to take what's ours. They're going to take our resources. And that's sort of a gut reactions like, well, wait a minute, there's hardly enough for me. Now you're coming along and you want a piece of a pie that's already basically non-existent, right? So that's one way to look at it. But the first thing I see is that the entire situation is scapegoating, right? They're a facade. I mean, no matter where they're at, no matter what political regime deals with it in whatever way, we have to understand that there's always a group of people being used as the focus, right? Look at the 1930s. Somebody came up, and I mean, and this in itself is way too complex, but let's just keep it really simple and say it was the Jews. Somebody said, you know, we have all these problems, and the reason we have all these problems is the Jews. You know, and they kept beating that into the people and repeating it and showing different things about it, and eventually enough people believed it and bought into it. I mean, to where you had pogroms, you know, in 1938. Actually, this anniversary is coming up here in a few days. The Kristallnacht, if you ever heard of it, you know, look it up. What happened in November in 1938. So, so that's one thing as far as the migrants and the refugees. They are something for us to focus our problems on. You know, I have a problem. Oh, that's the source. And take our attention away to the real source that we all know, and I'm not going to say here publicly on the phone, but we know whom we're talking about, that has been the source of our issues and problems for decades. Not since Trump, not since Obama, not since Clinton, and not even since Hitler. I mean, really look into this if you really want to spin your head around. As far as I hear you and I feel you and your opinion on this, Tim, full-heartedly, because you're saying, like, if I'm taking that stance that these migrants are hurting me or hurting my situation, or if nothing else, if, you know, that they're taken away from me, and that is true. You don't want to side with those people, and I so get this. But what Yvette, I've been listening to Yvette almost as long as I've been listening to you, so I understand her angle that she takes, which is that none of the presidents have ever, and none of the candidates ever had a black agenda. Okay, what are we doing for our descendants of slaves? And the migrants in some way have nothing even to do with that. But what Yvette is saying is that, okay, now we're having all these migrants and all these immigrants, and they are being funneled into these programs that are already in existence. For instance, the Jesus, you know what I mean? Affirmative action, right? And this really started with the feminists, that feminist white women started taking their place into affirmative action, which was exclusively meant to be for descendants of slaves in this country. So then you have the feminists, then you have the gay lesbian community, all these letters, right? And now you have immigrants, and eventually now you have migrants. But the program was exclusively meant to be for descendants of slaves, right? So what she's saying is these people are now taking the place of descendants of slaves by representing, because they're melanated, they are representing a black face in a venue where you should have a descendant of slaves. So she's not talking about skin color and race, whatever. She's talking about lineage. So I totally dig her. I understand her, and I agree with her on that. That, you know, it's wrong because your average white person just sees a black face, and that's where this, you know, diversity thing comes in. Oh, we have diversity. Look, we have all this diversity. And like you said in your intro about this clip, when this clip was made, you had shit for diversity. A clip in itself was a complete I mean, it was a farce, a complete farce. So, you know, like I said, it's really, really complex. But I get you. I mean, you know me. We met. I have no problem with anyone. I've known and do know people from all over the world, you know, of all kinds of backgrounds. And you know, so, but the problem is that it is being pushed into our face, this issue, to divert our attention away from the actual problem, and the problem is an oligarchy, is a plutocracy, and that has existed for so many years. Right. And yeah, that's it. And again and again and again, they succeed in distracting the masses with bullshit. You know, whether it's the worst of all is the refugee, the migration, but then you have the other BS like with Kanye West and all that stuff. You know, and that in itself usually that eliminates 50-60% of the population. You know, they're taking care of their mind is entertained with that BS. And so, anyways, that's my completely unprepared rant. Like I said, it's complex. But I'm so glad I caught you tonight, and everyone else is here. Y'all follow Tim wherever he goes. Don't be stuck on that stupid Facebook. I mean, I'm as much of a Facebook addict as everyone else because it keeps me in touch with people in Europe. You know, I get to see pictures of them and whatnot. But let's follow our independent media to independent sites, because otherwise we're going to lose them for sure. So that's my rant. Now, you all have a good weekend, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Uli. I appreciate you. And I agree. Look.
Thanks, Tim.
You got it, sister. I agree with you, Uli. Don't get me wrong, man. I watch Yvette Carnell and I learn stuff. I'm not saying she's wrong. What I'm saying is I don't think that's going to get it done. And I think it's very dangerous to side with people, to line up behind people, these ultra-conservatives who disagree with pretty much everything that the entire agenda that Yvette would have for black people, they would disagree with. They believe that things are equal in this country for people and for white people and black people, and there's nothing to even be concerned about. There was a great report done by a group called The Common Good. It's based in New York. It is a 160-page report. I encourage everybody to go to thecommongood.com and get the report. It's free. I downloaded it myself, and I'm reading it. I've been studying it. I used a portion of it in the video I did earlier this week. Like I said, I encourage you to do it because you're going to find out about the trigger points for all Americans, all these groups, the moderates, for the conservative, for the ultra-conservative, for the progressive activist, for the traditionalist, all of these different variations, these people who are disengaged from from politics in general, and you'll see what moves them, and immigration, who that is for when they bring that up. And anyway, I'm gonna go to the next call, guys. Thank you for your patience. I got a friend on 704. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black, this is William Carey from North Carolina. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, William, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I had a couple comments. Watching your show tonight, I can appreciate everything. I don't disagree with anything you said throughout your show, and I rarely do, disagree. Sure. But and I think what you're doing is important. You know, you've created a platform. You talk about current issues and put a perspective on it that's intelligible and researched, and so I think it's a good thing. Also, this goes along with something I normally bring up because I think it's just very important. When we talk about, and everyone is guilty of this, we can easily point at Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and it just goes, the list goes on, Kanye West. We can talk about people and what they're doing and how their actions have negative impacts on society in general. And, we wouldn't be wrong looking at it from a purely observatory lens. But I think, it's very important also to try to talk about the root cause of issues when we can. And, Donald Trump's not the problem. He's not a problem. He's a symptom of the disease. He's not the disease himself. And I say his name because if I start naming names, we could go on for a very long time. So I think that we really ought to, and this goes with the way our criminal justice system works as well. We have this notion that people have free will, and the truth behind it is, and I do implore everyone to please try to become more and familiarized with the current state of social and neuroscience as much as you can, because it's very important to human behavior, which would obviously provide a rational basis for our society if we take what science tells us in our current best state of what's true and what's not. And I think that we ought to look at people who engage in aberrant behaviors and look at those people from a perspective of what environmental and potentially genetic, but mostly what environmental impacts, environmental impacts issues, or how the environment is impacting our behaviors. It's very hard to know how somebody who's grown up like Donald Trump has, we can't accurately know how his environment affected him because we're not even familiar with that type of lifestyle. But we can know that Donald Trump is acting as a person who's grew up in that environment would act, and that could be any one of us. So the issue really is about education, and the most pervasive issues are economic inequality, and the stats bear this out, the impact of economic inequality on social outcomes and behaviors. And the other issue is about people in general not being as educated as we need to be to clearly understand what's going on and what we can do in a rational way moving forward to create better social and economic systems that would allow for everyone to thrive. As far as race is concerned, racism is a problem for sure, but understanding the real root cause of racism brings us right back to economics. And there's a lot of social prejudice and prejudice against people in lower social and economic, on the lower end of the hierarchies. And that precludes race. And I don't think it's most effective for the black community to address only trying to help themselves. And I don't mean that to say in a way that says that I don't understand what you're really doing. That's just kind of like the best way I could say that. I felt like you always have allies, and I think the issue should be about how poor people are being treated. And MLK really did this in a wonderful way. And I think we should really understand what he was about, not the whitewashed Martin Luther King Day empirical explanations of what MLK was and what he did and what he said, because they're leaving out the most pervasive points of what he was trying to tell us and what actually got him killed. And just to support some of the things I've said, I have a quote to end in this with from Thomas Jefferson. Here it goes. I know no safe depository of the ultimate powers of the society but the people themselves. And if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome discretion, the remedy is not to take it from them, but to inform their discretion by education. This is the true corrective of abuses of constitutional power. Back to you, Tim. Thanks.
All right, now, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. You know, I disagree with you wholeheartedly that black people don't need to address their issues. I think that black issues are specific issues that have existed in this country for a century, or for centuries. You know, I would never tell the indigenous people of, say, North Dakota not to address their issues, and that those issues are, we just need to focus on poor people. I wouldn't say that about Native Americans. Native Americans have a very specific situation in America, definitely. I don't think you would say that women need not address their issues that affect women. I don't think you'd say, let's just talk about human issues, let's not talk about women issues. I think women have very specific issues that need to be addressed from a woman's standpoint. Same thing would go for the LGBTQ community. I don't think anyone would say, oh, we can't talk about LGBTQ problems, because let's just talk about people problems. And if you fix people problems, you fix gay and lesbian problems. I think the LGBTQ community has very specific. The black community's problems are very specific problems that need to be addressed that way. We don't have politicians with a backbone to address those issues. I think MLK is probably one of the worst examples to use to say that we don't need to address these issues. Maybe the whitewashed Santa Clausification of Martin Luther King would be a better prop for that, but not the Martin Luther King that I know that is a radical when it came to issues of race. I mean, that was his purpose. He to lift up the condition of black folks in the United States. If he didn't focus on that, you know, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe I'm missing something that the caller was trying to explain. I was cool with a lot of it, but just when he got to black people don't need to talk about black problems, they need to talk about poor people problems. When people do that, they're doing it because they know it's unpalatable for a lot of people like yourself. You know, it's really why they do it. You know, Reverend Barber is probably why he does it. You know, the Poor People's Movement, they call it the Poor People's Movement in order to broaden the coalition, but you still have to you still must be able to say, hey, these are black people issues. I mean, we ain't got we can't just say it. Even when you got data, books and libraries of data to back up the issues. Like if you talk about police brutality, you gotta talk about black issues. You can't just be like, let's talk about police brutality, because police are not treating black people and white people the same. Well, we just correct policing. Well, policing's not a problem. Our justice system, or how we how America mets out the death penalty, for instance. It's a difference in how they do that with black people. It just is. Even when they're both poor, there's a difference in the way juries return verdicts for convicted felons who have the death penalty as an option. Just a difference. So that's a very specific issue. You can't say just make it color. I mean, let's make it, about poor people. Because there's a lot of poor people. They're not getting treated the same. So, but I get your point in a broader sense that you want to build a coalition. But hey, when we get down to it, man, we got to be comfortable enough to keep it real. We got to be comfortable enough to say, hey, like this is a problem, and we need to address it that way. And if we don't have that type of courage, then we'll never get anything changed. So I appreciate the phone call, my brother. I disagree with you on that point, but I do believe we need to get to the root of it. And you're right, they use race and religion and sex and all these other things to extract money from us. So I do agree with you on that point, that at the underneath all of it, somebody's trying to get some money out of this equation. That I do agree with you 100%. All right. And they're using race in order to extract that money. Okay? Keeping certain individuals focused on race, meanwhile, while they're stealing from them. You know, this old trick that they use on those Southern whites who just never figured it out, man. Yeah, they got you looking at the black people, blaming them, and saying, you know, these people, meanwhile, they're robbing you. Blind. So I'm going to go to the next call. I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for your patience. 801. 801, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. This is Chris, the Natural Progressive. How are you?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, sis?
Good, good. So I'm going to change the topic a little bit, but I just want to quickly make a comment on that. I think you're totally right about the individual issues, because being where I'm in Utah, there's a lot of Native American issues more than there are black-white issues. And, yeah, they're very individual, very, very individual. And what the sovereignty of the Native Americans and all that is a different issue than the black issues. And, it's just different. So I understand that. But, okay, what I wanted to talk about was I am in Mitt Romney's district, and there's a big issue with ballots. And, okay, let me explain. There has been, like, extra ballots being sent out, but it seems to be very specific who's getting the extra ballots, just from my personal experience. And I've been trying to get to the bottom of it. I've called the news and everything else, but you're the closest to the news that I can actually get to. So they're not willing to actually dig deeper into it. I did call the county and try to find out. But this is what's happening. Extra ballots were sent out to some people, and some people did not get ballots. It was all over the news that extra ballots were sent out, and they said that the reason being was people who recently changed their address may have had 2 ballots sent to them. However, my brother and my sister-in-law, this is just my own experience. This is not any detailed research, but my brother and my sister-in-law did not get a ballot at all, period. They just recently changed their address, and when they went to the county, they found out that the address they had on file was correct, so they should have received a ballot. And if what their story was, that people who recently changed their address should have gotten 2 ballots, or may have gotten 2 ballots, then they should have at least got one, and they didn't get one. And then there's like 3 voters that get registrations mailed to our address. My daughter and me are both registered unaffiliated. We both got just 1 ballot. My husband, who was registered Republican just for the primaries, because he had some local candidates he wanted to vote for, he got 2 ballots. And my godson, he also got 2 ballots. He was registered Republican. So and my daughter, who lives in the household, also is registered unaffiliated. She only got 1. So there's 2 people that were registered unaffiliated, got no ballots. I was registered unaffiliated. My daughter was registered unaffiliated, and we only got 1 ballot. But anyone that was Republican got 2 ballots. And when I called the county about it, they changed the story from what the public story was in the news. They said it was all about the registration, and they changed the story like twice during the conversation. When I explained to them what I experienced, they totally changed the story. So they said that it was a problem at the printer, and that the printer, something about batch numbers and whatever, and they don't know how that happened. And I'm like, okay, well, give me the printer's numbers or their names, and I'll find them, and then I can ask more questions. They wouldn't even give me that. They said it's just some printer out of California, and they wouldn't give me any information. So knowing Mitt Romney, I don't know if you're familiar with what happened when Mitt Romney was running for president, and the Diebold electronic voting systems. He was kind of involved in that, and how they've been switching votes and everything. And we just barely went to a mail-in ballot system just this year. So I just think there's something screwy with that, and I'm not happy with the answers that I got. And I just want people to know that there's something going on, and I don't know what it is. Not that our Democrat that's running against Mitt Romney is great. Jenny Wilson, she's a corporate Democrat who is open to cutting Social Security and all that. And we have no choices here. We can't even write anyone in here. So if I didn't have any choice, I just didn't vote for anybody. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted people to be aware there's something screwy going on, and nobody is covering it. And they did cover the fact that people got extra ballots, but they're trying to ensure that people know, don't worry, votes won't count twice and all that. And I'm like, okay, so what's the monitoring system? And I guess you can go in and monitor, so you can stand back and watch, but you can't actually help count the ballots unless you're appointed by an elected official or something like that. I don't know. It just seems screwy. So I just wanted to, I don't know. I just think people need to know that there's something weird going on, and it's Mitt Romney. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and I didn't like the answers I got. So
right.
I just wanted to get it out there somewhere, since the local news wouldn't listen to me. Yet Riverton in Salt Lake City, well, it's in the boundaries of Salt Lake County, actually, Riverton City, they're complaining about a Republican district being, the voters being suppressed there.
Okay.
Utah's so Republican, and they're complaining about voter suppression on the Republicans. I don't think that's a problem. I'm sorry. It's not a problem. Shut up. But
well, thank you, Chris, for the phone call. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too, Chris. It's out there now, Chris. You told somebody. It's on the forum. It's on YouTube. All right? And it's on Twitch. So it's out there. Some people are hearing it. So, and it's unfiltered. It's coming right from you. That's one of the good things about this show. I want to thank you, Chris, for being a member of my wolf pack. And I met Chris in Utah, right? Back when Lee and I went to Utah to do comedy, we were in Salt Lake City, and I had an opportunity to meet Chris, and it was really cool. I think we took a picture or something, or she took a picture with Lee, or she met, something. We met there. So it's really cool, man, to meet people in person. And so, and I'm glad this platform is available for you to get stuff out like that. And definitely, sis. Let me give a shout out to a couple of people who have donated via Super Chat. Man, I got some Super Chat people in the house. I got my man, Truth Can't Be Silenced. Truth Can't Be Silenced in the house. Yay. Laugh out loud. Yay. Yay. Oh, yee. And there's a picture of Hillary. That's right. Oh, God. You know what? Thank you so much, Truth, for reminding me we need to make some more emojis for our Wolfpack people. Wolfpack people, when you join the YouTube membership, Team Black, or the Wolfpack on YouTube, we got special stuff that we're building on. We got our own emojis. We from time to time, I do special like videos. I shoot little footage here and there as I'm going through my day, and I just try to make it more of a conversation. If you're on Patreon, stay on Patreon. Patreon's a little bit better in certain ways for me if you're on Patreon and you're comfortable with Patreon. I also try to share those videos on Patreon too. But just let people know, YouTube, if you want to be a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, you can join on YouTube. And we welcome you. We support you, and we love you. Come on through. Because you keep us going. Also, shout out to Richard Mays. Richard Mays is in the house. Richard Mays says, let's hope Kanye's beginning to know how much he don't know. Damn right, Richard. And stops using his celebrity as therapy. And what they say, Kanye West is going to be Kanye West, right? Let Kanye. I just think, they do the same thing on the left. They use people that but at least those people know how to get in a lane and stay in a lane and then get out the lane. Like Oprah right now is in Georgia, right? canvassing or supporting or stumping for Stacey Abrams, right? So Oprah's not going to go on a rant. She's not going to go on a rant that turns the tables over and totally screws up Stacey Abrams. She's just disciplined, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a difference, okay? Also, Will Ferrell. He's in Georgia, right? Will Ferrell, funny guy. He'll make some jokes. He'll do his Will Ferrell, right? He's funny, and he's funny, and he's going to do that. But what he's not going to do is he's not going to, make a statement like, slavery was a choice. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I just got a feeling he won't do that. Patrick's in the house. Patrick Seguin. My man Pat says, extra flow for you. Well, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, Pat. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying we have celebrities that chime in on the left and on the right. Oh, guys, man, I was trying to get Susan Sarandon on the show, and I've been in talks with Susan Sarandon for a couple of years to come on this show. And damn it, guys, I'm going to need you to help push on Susan Sarandon because I can't get on the show, man. She will not do the show. She will not do the show. We need her on the show. We need Susan Sarandon to do the show, man. Susan Sarandon, and I want Will Ferrell, too. Come on, man. All right, guys, I got a 111 number in the house. 1111111. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Mr. Timberlake, how are you, sir?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm Mike from Singapore. And first of all, Trump tried to dismantle the kids from parents and also mother one place, daddy's another play location, and kids are different locations. And like Hitler did. When Hitler came to the power, he did that. And he wanted to know how was our reaction to this matter. And it was very black, white, yellow, every kind of people cried, said, no, please, you don't need to do that. Now, we've seen tanks in the borderlines. We have artillery in the borderlines. What the hell is going on? I think it's something else is going on, my friends. Because why he had to put tanks from San Diego to end up the Texas? Why? Can anybody think of that, please? Because I think something is going on.
Brother, that's deep. That's deep. You know what? I want to thank you, Mike from Singapore, because Mike, when I saw people defending Donald Trump, when he said he was going to give armed officers the go-ahead to shoot protesters who threw rocks. Now, unless that was totally taken out of context, and it may have been, guys, it may have been taken totally out of context, but I saw him say it. I saw him say that there's no difference between a rock and a bullet. He said that. That sounds like somebody who's never been around when people shot bullets. All right? Now, look, guys. I've dealt with a lot of people in this media thing. One of the problems that I have is that I am a genuine human being. All right? I'm a genuine human being who's too trusting often. I can tell you stories that would change your opinions of so many people, but I won't do that. I feel that it would only hurt your feelings. But what I will tell you is that I have learned the hard way about people and their motives and what really drives them. as it pertains to independent media, and as it pertains,
90 seconds.
and as it pertains to speaking truth to power. But there is no way in my mind's eye that I can fathom being of the opinion that it's okay for a president of the United States to justify violence on unarmed human beings.
Seconds.
I just don't. I can't imagine ever feeling that way. And maybe I just look at this. I take this all way more seriously than I need to. Maybe this is all just a game. Maybe this is all just a way to make money, a way to have a good time, and a way to kill time on a Friday or a Saturday, any day which you would do a show. But I feel that there is more to this. There should be more to it. And there are just some things that people that I would think people couldn't do, but they do them every day. I'm appalled by
10 seconds.
I'm appalled by them. I'm never ever used to watching people cave in and totally bastardize any point of view that they had that was ethical and upstanding. And I'm ashamed to have known some of these people. And when I say people, I do mean people. I'm not talking about a singular person when I do this. And it's not just about Trump, it's about so many other things. So anyway, guys, I got another call in the 11111 number here in the queue. I want to go to that person. Thank you, Mike from Singapore, brother. It's always great to hear from you. I have another 111 caller queue in the queue. You're live, my friend. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Hytham Ghana from Brooklyn, New York. I'm also one of the fans on Facebook who send you on the messenger that I endorse you on your work. And, I do like your work, and you're the bomb, man. That's for sure.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Well, a few things I want to talk in my mind, of course. Although we're going to be like 1 week away on the midterm elections, of course, although the fact that it would be 50-50 chance of if whatever side would gain the House or the Senate of being the senator and the House representative. And the thing is, although the blue wave thing, as we all know, is still like a figment of imagination, still childish and disgusting and everything, the thing is, even if Democrats were to take the House and the Senate and also being the governor of whatever states, of course, to make it a blue wave, I mean, should it surprise me that if Democrats did actually win that amount of votes to wipe Republicans off the House and Senate, of course? The thing is that here's the thing, what I could say is this. It is going to be tough, of course, it's going to be tough in the red state Dems, of course. That's Trump one, of course, because Haiti Heitkamp of North Dakota, Claire McCaskill of Missouri, and whatever Democrats that's in the red states that Trump won have been hit pretty hard by James O'Keefe with undercover videos of their political scheme, like pretending to be conservative or liberal either way. And also, he even caught one of the Democrats who are running in the red states trying to unseat Republicans that won the red states that Trump won, of course, which is Phil Preston, former governor of Tennessee, running for senator in Tennessee, of course, Beto O'Rourke, along with Kristen Sinema, caught by James O'Keefe, of course, and they've been hit pretty hard by him, of course, and it doesn't even quite look good for them. And also another thing I wanted to turn into is the blue state, New Jersey. Although it is a blue state and it is a very tough state for a Republican for a few reasons. One is we all know it is a blue state by Bob Menendez, of course, who is up for re-election, and it's going to be not just tough for Bob Hugin, who is his challenger, but it's going to be tough for Menendez for number two reason is because his corruption and his activity with underage girls in Dominican Republic, of course, and the bribery with his eye doctor or something. I forgot what it was or whatnot. But also, it's now, and number 3 is that New Jersey is now a toss-up state, even though it is going to be a very tough race between these two and whatnot. And also, like, the one thing I also wanted to finish and wrap up is that the Michael Cohen thing, when he claimed that Trump said the racial slur, should it surprise me that if he literally did? I mean, thing is, I'm not a Trump fan myself, but that race bait thing that Cohen's claiming, that's kind of like Oloroso, like she claimed that that Trump said the N-word, of course. Like, and of course she couldn't even clarify it, and she made an ass out of herself, of course. And probably Cohen and the other media who was hoping something probably made an ass out of themselves too, of course. And also, like, the thing is, I don't trust Cohen or his lawyer, who's a Clinton crony, of course, because thing is, Lanny Davis, as we all know, is a Clinton crony, and he did make an ass out of himself along with CNN about that Don Jr. Russian lawyer meeting thing, of course, and or the dossier or whatever the case that made a total ass out of CNN and Lanny Davis and everything. So, of course, a few days for midterm elections, I don't know how the outcome would look. To be honest, I don't give two rat's ass about it. I'm not optimistic as I was in the elections, so I don't give rat's ass. I think Republicans might win, even though I don't want to make final predictions, but I'm predicting Republicans will definitely win, of course.
All right, brother.
And,
well, thank you, brother, for the phone call. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for your opinions there. We're good to go there. Yeah, I will. I will be taking a look at these midterm elections, some of the key elections that we want to focus in on. I will do a show about that. I'll go live about that here for my folks, and we will have those conversations. We need to do something on that day, right? We should go live on Tuesday. Yeah, let's go live on Tuesday, guys. Why not do it? Why not go live Tuesday? Still trying to get things squared away as far as the format of what we're going to be doing and how live shows are going to be addressed. But thank you so much, guys. I want to point out that I want to once again remind everybody about this great document that's over at thecommongood.com. I just want to let me check that URL. That way I can give you guys that URL because I think it's important for you to have that information, guys. Where would that be? Because I'm looking at it right now, actually. And it's just so telling. I'm just trying to tell you guys the information. Okay. So it shows how things break down with very conservative, devout conservatives, and how they view so many of the issues that we are concerned with, or what that we speak about every day, or the issues that come up in the media. And it just really gives you a lens as to what drives the division. We're really separated on these issues, guys. Like, if we keep it policy driven, we can get a better hold on what's important and how we can actually move people in the right direction. But there are people who just fundamentally disagree. I mean, I'm looking here at one of the surveys. One of the things they asked about was about feminism. And if you can look at the void between, like, the devout conservative and the progressive activist on how they view feminism, okay? The question is, do today's feminists fight for important issues? Do today's feminists fight for important issues? 96% of progressive activists say yes. Contrast that with devout conservatives, they say only 8%. Only 8% of devout conservatives, the most conservative group, the most conservative of conservatives, only 8% of them believe that feminism or feminists should even exist or that they deal with important issues at all. This is current. This is even in with the allegations now of a Dr. Ford or all of the Me Too movement revelations, even with all of that in the headlines, unmoved, totally whatever, you know? It's a very eye-opening report, guys. I wish I could find this report for you. Let me type in, let me see if I got commongood.com, I think that's the name of it. Join the Common Good. I think that's it. Jointhecommongood.com. I think that's the name of it. Commongood.com. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just trying to tell you. That this thing, it's like, it really, for me, it helps because I always look at people as being moved or being able to be moved. Maybe if I said things the right way, maybe if I articulated an idea in just such a right way, I'll be able to somehow affect change, and I'll be able to plant a seed in someone's mind. And all I'm trying to tell you is some people's minds got ground that you cannot penetrate. Some people's minds, the ground is not fertile. There's got to be soil. I'm not trying to be a defeatist or negative, man. I'm just saying some people just are not going to. There are people that believe. Okay, police brutality. Question. Hold on. Here's the question. The police are often more violent towards blacks than others. 95% of progressive activists believe that. 91% of very liberal people believe that. All right? Yeah. 91%. Conservatives, devout conservatives, only 7% of them believe that. 93% of devout conservatives believe the police are mostly fair and treat everybody the same. So when we talk about Kaepernick, when people don't understand these people that who are like, get up, salute the flag, get your ass up, or get out of here. You know, those people voted. Those people don't believe that there is a police brutality. That these instances of Tamir Rice, of John Crawford, of Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland, they don't believe that those even happened. They don't believe it. It's an alternate universe that people are living in. So a guy like me who sits around, who tries to put out content, who wants to do it to change the world, make the world a better place, like sometimes take things to heart. Like, oh man, I can't reach this guy. This person's unreachable. This person is giving me is ripping me whipping me up in my comment section. They might be ultra conservative. Some people, there's not common ground. Maybe on another issue, but on certain issues, they are just not. Climate change, not going to listen to you. DACA, immigration, they believe you should be able to kick these people out for anything. Jaywalker ticket, get out of my country. Shouldn't have been here to begin with. Those are the people that they getting all this film on. So I say all this to say, guys, there are all types of people in this country with all types of belief systems. This weekend, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor, Tim Black Wolfpack. If you run into these people that you just have no way to relate to at all, realize it may not be you, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It's not like you lack communication skills. And it's not that these people are evil. It's just that they see the world a totally different way. Okay? And that happens in a system and in a country where the news is reported vastly different on different channels, where the facts are not facts on other channels. The facts are different depending on who you watch and who you listen to. Not the opinions, the facts. It creates this total disagreement. So don't beat yourself up about it. Don't beat them up about it. Just realize that, hey, maybe we're just going to have to disagree on these issues sometimes, and that's okay. And I had to kind of get out of that mindset where, I want to form a consensus. I want us to form a consensus We should be able to work through that shit. It's okay. I'll be a buddy. You know, we can work through these problems. And sometimes you can't work through everything because they are opposed to some basic shit. And to them, they can't work with you because you are opposed to some of their basic tenets of which their life and their foundation. It's like you would totally have to rip out the foundation under which you are standing or under which they are standing on top, and then they would just fall. So this is serious stuff, guys, is what I'm trying to tell you. It really is.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And I hope you understand what I'm saying. And it's like the more I learn, the more I read. Guys, never stop reading, never stop learning. Be open to new information. Spend the time, take the time to learn something new, to learn more about this system, how it works. And you will be stunned. Stunned, I tell you. That's all I got, guys. Let me check my queue real quick. Great people on YouTube. Thank you, my YouTube people. Tim Black's Wolfpack just hanging out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Environmental Coffee House. I appreciate you for supporting this show. I appreciate you for being here. Kerry Holder, thank you, Kerry Holder, for your super chat as well. I appreciate you. Shane's in the house, man. Shane, I saw you in the comment section on the video, my friend. Shane says, look, I'm a new subscriber, Tim. Thanks for the frankness. I bet a lot of real progressives feel it's like crazy people, but then we get to your channel and we feel much better. My brother, that's it here. Thanks for providing the space. Man, look, Shane DZ. Shane DZ. All right, let me say this, Shane. All right? Look. We ain't many, but we plenty. And we keep on growing. And it's an open door policy, man. And look, it's for anyone. Because we're going to disagree sometimes, and that's okay. What it is we got good hearts. And we want the best for not just ourselves, but for others. Because we believe that that's the right way a society should operate. Right? We believe it. We know it in our heart. And we don't want to be jaded by all the negative shit. Yeah, it's negative. We call it out. I call people out, but in my heart, man, ain't nothing but love. Right? Ain't nothing but love in my heart. We have to work together. It's how I was raised. It's who I am. But I got no problems calling people out, man. I do it. In fact, I do it so often, it's like a secondary job, bro. Calling people out. Because they got to be called out, just Shane. There's a lot of lies out there. They're misleading our people, man. Shane, they're lying to our people, our next door neighbors, our friends, our cousins. They're lying to them and making us be mad at them, at our cousins. But our cousins are being lied to by people who are getting paid to lie. Now, if that don't piss you off, what will? There are millions and millions of dollars being spent to mislead us. And instead of us going after the sources of that money and the sources of the lies, we get mad at the people who believe the lie. Unless we can have platforms like this, Zane, that educates people, Shane, that informs them that they're being lied to, which is a very dangerous thing because it's easier to lie to someone than to convince them that they've been lied to. Because the pride gets in it. You know, pride, oh my God. Hey, look, a man could be cheated on by his wife. He'd rather be cheated on by his wife than for his friend to tell him, hey, man, she's cheating on you. He'd kill his friend. He'd kill his friend for telling him his wife is stepping out on him. She fine. Now he in jail for killing his friend, and she off with the guy she really wanted to be with. It doesn't make any sense, man. It's crazy. That's what we do. So it is lousy. Hey, look, it's lousy what we do here. Human nature does. So to go against all that is hard, man. That's why we came up with a concept, guys. If you're new to the show, it's called Sprinkle Some Facts on Them. So what you do is you don't demonize somebody. You try not to, right? Don't try to make them look stupid. You just give them something to think about. And you don't carpet bomb. Don't carpet bomb. You know, with facts. Just give them like one thing. Like, hey, you know, Obama, he sent more drones his first year than Bush did his entire presidency. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. See you later. You know, leave it there. Leave that there. Let them think about that. You know, here goes one. Here goes a fact you can sprinkle. Hey, man, I'm not a Trump supporter, but, you know, this whole deportation thing, it's been going on for a while. I mean, Trump's deporting a lot of people, but Obama still holds the record. All right, man. Talk to you next time. I'll see you later, brother. And you just walk off. See, that is a fact. That is a fact that I just sprinkled. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you soon. I'll see you soon on the next one. Remember, guys, you can always contact me at tim@timberlaketv.com. You can write me there. I may not get back right away, but I will get back to you. I promise you I'll do my best to do that. Shout out to everybody who tuned into the show tonight. I will see you again next week. We got a lot of content to go. There are a lot of stories I want to get to. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack, everybody on Patreon. I'm going to be making some changes, adding some more admins. Contact me if you want to help monitor the queue. Along with Truth Can't Be Silenced. One person can't do it by himself. We need more help. Truth has a life. From time to time, Truth has to go to the restroom or walk the doggy or something, so we need to have other people around to help out. And if you want to volunteer to help the Tim Black Show, please contact me at tim@timberlaketv.com. Also, I'm Real Tim Black on Twitter and Facebook. And also, I am Tim Black at Night on Instagram. And also, I am Tim Black Show, Tim Black TV on Roku. Roku, baby. Yeah. So there you go. I see you soon. Stay cool. And like I always say, don't you let nobody take your cornbread. Peace. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Yes,
Goodbye.
Truth. Funny. Tim Black.
And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country.